Good evening, and welcome to Peace Lutheran School's Fine Arts Festival. Tonight's program is the finale of our Lutheran Schools Week celebration. During this week, we have joined over 1,000 Lutheran schools throughout the United States, rejoicing in our common heritage and thanking God for what He is accomplishing in and through our Lutheran schools. This week, we have worked together, played together, shared meals together, worshipped and prayed together. Tonight we hope to entertain together. So we invite you to sit back and relax. We hope you enjoy our variety show featuring cats.
Composer Andrew Lloyd Webber brought furry felines into the spotlight when he wrote his musical Cats. We begin our variety show with the King's Ringers performing the song Memories from that musical.
Good evening. I'm Professor Albert Katstein. I guess by now you're feeling quite knowledgeable concerning cats. But really, you've just scratched the surface of cat history. For the past few weeks, I've spent much time with the 6th grade here at Peace Lutheran. After hours of studying and days of scholarly searching, we have uncovered untold stories of some cool cats of history. Our first cool cat lived from 69 BC to 30 BC.
Now Cleopatra was a mighty puny cat with her barge and her scepter and her pharaoh's hat. Her meeting with Caesar still makes the history books, and even today we remember her looks.
She's a cat.
A cool cat. What a cat. A hat cat. A perfect example of feline history.
We now move to the year 1492.
Now, Christopher Columbus was a mighty cool cat with his map and his compass and his sailor's hat. He sailed across the ocean on a mighty small ship, and even today we remember that trip. Well, boy,
He's a cat. A cool cat. What a cat. A hat cat. A perfect example of feline history.
Let me see. Oh, here it is, 1885.
Now, Caddy Oakley was a very skillful cat with her shotgun and her pistol and her cowgirl's hat. With Buffalo Bill, she toured the West, proved that at shooting she truly was the best.
She's a cat. A cool cat. What a cat. A hat cat. A perfect example of feline history.
1969 was a time for high flying.
Now, Commander Neil Castro was a very brave cat with his rocket and his flag and his astronaut's hat. He traveled to the moon, took a walk around the place, and we never will forget his flight into space.
He's a cat. A cool cat. What a cat. A hat cat. A perfect example of feline history.
From the mid-1950s to 1978, this cat was called the King.
Now, Elvis Catley was a very kingly cat. With his voice and his sideburns, he didn't need a hat. He played his guitar and he wiggled his hips, and many a song came meowing from his lips.
He's a cat. A cool cat. What a cat. A hat cat. A perfect example of feline history.
Some cool cats have been around a long time and still are here today.
Now Tony the Tiger was a mighty great cat with his roar and his switch and his baseball hat, with the rink and the money streak to his stick, and everyone agrees old Tony is great. He's a cat. A cool cat. What a cat. A hat cat. A perfect example of feline history. They're cats. What
Cats have long been a subject of many forms of entertainment, such as plays, books, poems, and songs. The choristers will sing for us a medley of cat songs.
Some of the most famous children's stories are about a boy named Christopher Robin and his stuffed bear, Pooh. Kindergarten will help us remember another character from these stories, and he's a lovable, one-of-a-kind cat.
Walt Disney introduced us to some pesky cats in his movie, The Lady and the Tramp. The King's Kids joined with our new ringers to perform the Siamese cat song.
Have you ever wished you were someone else? Well, first grade tells us that cats have that problem too.
Once there was a little black cat who wanted to be a bird.
Fully served the kings of Babylon.
Daniel is respected by all the people.
Obviously not by everyone. Someone wanted Daniel killed.
More than one person. The other two managers hated Daniel because he was getting all the attention and honors. In fact, we heard a rumor that King Darius was going to make Daniel president over the entire kingdom. This meant that everyone would be under Daniel's control.
What did the jealous leaders do?
At first, they searched for some fault in the way Daniel managed his area. They planned to complain to the king so Daniel wouldn't get the promotion. But Daniel is so wise and honest, the managers couldn't find a single mistake. Finally, one of them said, "Our only chance is to attack his religion. He worships the Hebrew God instead of the gods of Babylon."
A committee came to me and said, "King Darius, live forever. All the managers and satraps of your kingdom have agreed."
That was a lie. We did not all agree.
But I didn't know that. They said to me, "O noble king, we believe you should make a law that for the next 30 days, anyone who prays to any god or man except you shall be thrown into the lion's den."
And did you agree to that?
It sounded like a good idea. All kings like power and praise. I'm no different.
So, you signed that law. According to the strict rules of the Medes and Persians, it can never be changed. Is that true?
A law cannot be changed by anyone, even the one who signs it.
Daniel, you ignored this law. You went right on praying, publicly, 3 times a day, to your own God. Why, when you knew you would face death in a den of hungry lions?
No king, no law, no lions can come between me and my God.
Everyone knew how faithful Daniel was to his God. The managers sent spies to watch Daniel. As soon as Daniel went to his room and knelt to pray, the spies reported it to the managers.
What did the managers tell you, King Darius?
A committee came to me and reminded me of the law I had signed, and that it could not be changed. Then the leader said, "Someone has disobeyed your law, O king." "Who?" I asked. He replied, "Daniel, one of the Jewish captives. He refuses to bow before your statue. He still prays 3 times a day to his God."
So, you were trapped.
I was trapped. I was mad. I was sad. I didn't want Daniel killed. He was too valuable to me. I tried to think of a way to save Daniel, but there was none.
Daniel, tell us what happened next.
While I was praying, the soldiers came to my room and took me away like a dangerous criminal. When we reached the entrance to the lion's den, King Darius was there. He looked at me and said quietly, "Daniel, may your God, whom you serve faithfully, rescue you. Then he ordered the soldiers to throw me into the cave.
After the soldiers pushed Daniel into the cave, they rolled a big boulder into the opening. They poured hot wax into the cracks around the boulder. Then the king pressed his ring into the wax to seal it. This meant no one could rescue Daniel.
I went to my palace. I couldn't eat, I couldn't sleep. All night long I worried about Daniel.
Has anyone ever escaped from the lions before?
Never. The lions are so hungry they immediately attack anything thrown into the den.
Then why did you worry or wonder about Daniel? Didn't you believe your lions would eat him?
I hoped that his God was as great as Daniel claimed he was. I hoped, oh, how I hoped that his God could save him somehow.
Daniel, what happened during the night?
When the soldiers pushed me into the cave, I stumbled and fell. Roaring lions surrounded me. When they came within a foot, they stopped as if an invisible wall stood between us. They quit roaring, laid down near my feet, and went to sleep.
What did you do then?
I knelt and prayed. I thanked God for protecting me. Then I slept. Early in the morning, I heard a voice calling my name. I looked up through the opening in the roof of the cave, and there stood the king.
I was afraid to look down, so I just called, Daniel, Daniel, servant of the living God, are you there? Was your God able to save you from the lions? Then I heard Daniel's voice. Your Majesty, live forever. What a relief. When I looked down, I saw Daniel with the lions sitting at his feet.
How do you explain this, Daniel?
My God sent his angel to shut the lions' mouths. They did not hurt me because I was innocent before God, and I have never done any wrong before King Darius either.
Immediately, I ordered my soldiers to lift Daniel out of the den. I looked over his body. There wasn't even a single scratch on him. His clothing wasn't even torn.
That's because I trusted God to deliver me.
I was happy that Daniel was alive, but I was angry with those who had tricked me, so I commanded that they be killed.
How?
Let me tell this part. The soldiers found the men who had accused Daniel and brought them to the king. Daniel's enemies were thrown into the lion's den. The lions leaped into the air and grabbed the bodies before they reached the ground.
That was proof enough to me that the Almighty God has saved Daniel's life.
What an incredible rescue. What a testimony for the God of Daniel. BBS wishes to thank King Darius, Daniel, and the satrap for sharing this experience with the people of Babylon. This is Chris Kelly saying goodbye from Good Evening Babylon.
Wait.
Is there more?
Yes, I have written a new law, and I want to read it to my people. I command that in every part of my kingdom, people must respect and honor the God of Daniel, for God is the living, unchanging God. His kingdom can never be destroyed, and his power shall never end. He saves his people from harm. He delivered Daniel from the power of the lions.
I'm sure all our listeners will agree with you, King Darius, that Daniel's God is a true God and the great deliverer.
Our variety show is coming to an end, but the evening continues with the art display in the upstairs hallway and classrooms. Refreshments will follow in the social hall. Please stay and enjoy yourself. We close tonight with the choristers singing the kazoo concerto.